Hey guys, welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about electric cars and how their power is maintained through cold temperatures. The reason that this is a topic right now is because if I were to open this garage door right behind you, there's 6 or 8 inches of snow on the ground, and my wife's Ford Mustang Mach-E has been struggling with battery. Now, this is the true facts with any EV car. They're rated for a range based on perfect weather conditions. So if you go buy a brand new Cybertruck or a Rivian or a Lucid or any of these EVs that are out there, Mach-E, whatever, they're going to advertise a certain range. And that range is going to be based on perfect, absolutely, normal conditions. They're going to assume that you're not driving uphill or down. They're going to assume that it's like exactly 68 degrees or whatever their plan is. And you're not going to have the air conditioner on. You're not going to have the heater on. You're not going to be charging your phone. You're not going to be doing anything, no navigation. They basically turn everything off, drive it in a straight line, no elevation change on a normal temperature day, and that's how they distinguish or establish the range. Now, when it's cold outside, again, it's like 0 degrees. I think today it actually got to like 9 degrees. I think that when that happens, range is going to decrease substantially. And I know the first year we had the car, the first winter we had the car, we actually bought it in January, and through January, through February, through March, into April, I think, the highest the range on a full charge ever told us was something like 240 miles. And when we bought the car, it was rated for like 320 miles, I think. And that was the extended range, all-wheel drive, whatever. So we're like, man, that's like 80 miles less. That's seriously like 25% of the battery has been essentially depleted because of the cold weather. Well, come summer, the car went right back up. It was telling us on a full charge, 310, 315, something like that. And there were plenty of times where we actually would drive in the real world, and we went on road trips and drove close to 300 miles, and we still were, fine. We didn't run out of juice. We would stop and charge, and that'd be fine. But it was real world. We were getting 300 miles or more to the range. Then that next winter, same story, a full charge, the car is saying 220, 225, something like that. And then in the spring, it would go right back up to 300-ish. And so here we are, third winter with this car. I would tell you the same. We're still losing roughly 25%, maybe a little bit more than that in this extremely cold weather. And the car is super conservative about its energy consumption. So, if you preheat the car, like remote start it, so to speak, it'll turn on the heated seats, it'll turn on the heater, the defrosters, all those things, so you can get into a really nice and comfortable car. But they tell you not to do that, really, because it does deplete the range. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube shorts and TikToks and Instagram reels and shorts and stories and all these different things about freezing rain, freezing temperature, ice over the door handles of all these EV cars, and people are losing their minds. And it cracks me up because, for example, there was this one where a guy's Tesla handle iced over. And he's freaking out saying, oh, these stupid Teslas, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. Well, I laugh because I came outside today and the door handle on my F-150 was frozen. Now, my F-150 is not a Tesla, it's a Ford. It's not an EV, it's a gas-powered vehicle. It doesn't matter what you drive. Freezing rain and these kind of conditions are going to lock up and seize up your windows. They're going to seize up your doors, your door handles, the door locks, all these things, And it made me laugh even more because on that Tesla, there are apps to remote start. He could have remote started that car, popped the door open with the remote. There's a million. He just wanted to complain about a Tesla and for views. And it worked because he had hundreds of thousands of views, tens of thousands of likes, and probably several hundred comments. And no, I didn't sit there and read every one of them or scroll through them or any of that stuff because I just don't. But it did make me laugh. I watched this video a couple of times and I just kind of thought to myself, it's silly that he's blaming the Tesla because any car will have the exact same outlie. It's going to happen regardless of what you drive. It could be a luxury vehicle. It could be not. It could be an EV. It could be gas. It could be diesel. It could be hydrogen. I don't care, right? The point is, when it's cold outside, your locks are going to freeze, your handles are going to freeze, and you can't blame the car for that. So, those are things that are going to be struggles in cold weather anyway. But when you're talking about EV specific things, yeah, the manufacturers are going to try to get you to, maybe not use the heater, not use the things that you're going to use. You're going to do all that stuff. But what they're going to tell you is to not unless you have to, because it's going to deplete the battery a little bit faster. So all that means is we charge a little more regularly. It doesn't change how we drive the car. It doesn't change where we drive the car, how often we drive the car. Nothing is changing. All I would tell you is instead of once a week, we're now charging maybe twice a week, and we're not letting it get as far down because it depletes faster. So, historically in the summer, especially if my wife drives to and from work, we go on a few errands, we go to the store, maybe we take kids to and from school and soccer and whatever else, we may burn through a tank, right? 300 miles in a week, maybe. I would tell you that we don't do 300 miles in a week, but we also don't charge it all or decharge it or drive it until it's empty. So, basically we'll start the week at a full charge. More often than not, like come Friday or Saturday, I'm charging it overnight so that come Saturday morning or Sunday morning, it's fully charged up, ready to go. So I charge it once a week and we top it all the way off. We don't stop at 80. I'm also not really great about making sure I start charging at 20. Sometimes it's below that, sometimes it's higher than that. It just depends on how much use the car's gotten through the week. But in the wintertime, I'm charging it more regularly. And again, I'm not worried about when I start charging it. Anytime I plug it in, I leave it plugged in until it gets to 100. And again, I don't know that that's great for the battery. Long-term use, I have no idea what it's going to do. But when it's 7 degrees outside, I don't want my wife to have to not use the heater because she's concerned about range. Her commute's not very long. It is fine. She should use the heater. She should use the defroster, the heated wheel or steering wheel, the heated seats, all those things. That's why we have them, right? That's why, it's stupid that the manufacturer would say don't use that stuff. So anyway, pretty weird deal. But EVs are an interesting animal in the winter, and cold weather really does beat them up. And you can see my charger right here. And that thing's getting used a couple times a week. So that's kind of the EV life, especially in the wintertime, because the range anxiety is a thing when you have an unpredictable weather occurrence. And when you don't know if you can normally drive 300 miles on a full charge and now all of a sudden you're going 200 or a little more, that does limit your distance, or you're going to change your plans potentially, or you're going to build your plans in a different way, because now you have to account for extra charging time if you're going to have to stop and do those things. And, so just figuring that stuff out is always going to be the case. There's no perfect recipe. The car does a pretty good job of estimating how much charge is left and how many miles you can go, but it's not perfect. It has a good idea, but it doesn't know if you're going uphill or down. It doesn't know a lot of things. And just keep that in mind if you guys have EVs or if you're looking at EVs. We love that Mach-E. It's been fantastic. It's really cool. She loves never having to go to the gas station. She just comes inside and plugs it in. We haven't noticed our power bill go up all that much, a little bit, but not that much. And, so it's just been great all around. We tend to just keep it here in Redmond, right here in town. We're not driving super far or anything like that. If we did, I feel like, once you get used to the whole charging situation, it's not even a problem. It's not. I've driven it south. We've driven it to California and back. And yeah, we stopped to charge a couple of times, but it's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. it's a great traveling car. And so if you can get over the inconvenience, so to speak, of a little bit longer charge time as opposed to just filling up with fuel, yeah, they're great. So I'll leave you guys with that. That's all I have for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But most importantly, remember, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.